I just don't think that's fair, actually. All right. Need to create my showcase icons. I don't mind reading people's stuff because I want to encourage them. But it's like, come on, guys. Unsplash really didn't know what I meant by jazz hands. Nope. None of them did. That won't be it. See you, James. Have a great day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask an Old GM. This is a Game of Tomes reporting stream if you are doing your writing. And if you're not doing your writing, well, don't. Now we'll put on some music that won't get silenced. Greg? Writer Greg? How come he's not showing up in my... Not showing up in my stream? Weird. Angstaze, thank you for the concern about my mother. Alright, she is doing okay. She does not have a new heart valve, I'm afraid. Alright, apparently she's deformed. Alright, they got her in, got her under, went inside, took a look inside her heart, and said that the heart valve is the smallest that he's ever seen, and he's operated on children's hearts. Alright, the valve thing that they were going to replace it with, if you put it on there, it would have been just too powerful, and the valve wouldn't have opened at all, and it would have killed her. Alright. Normally the next step to there is open heart surgery, but my mom's lungs are too badly scarred from all the pneumonia and stuff she has from the heart condition, that they don't figure that if they put her on a respirator, she'll ever come off of it. Alright? So it'll basically kill her. Alright? The doctor is a little hopeful, however, that he will be able to find somewhere in the world a valve small enough, a replacement valve small enough, that he can just replace the whole valve. Alright? And he can do that through intra-arterial surgery. Alright? So, he's hopeful of that anyways. Alright? I'm just glad I live in Canada, Angstaze. Because she would have been bankrupt and dying if she lived in the States. Hello, Emily. Bonsoir. It's okay. Oh, okay, Daz, that's what you meant. Yeah, that's awesome. And so modest, too, Emily. Oh, hey, James, didn't see you lurking there. Sounds good, Emily. If you're finished with writing your short story, you can write other stuff. How goes the adventure work so far? Well, I haven't started. I gotta start today. I figure I'll start after my stream. Alright. But yeah, I gotta make up a bunch of pre-gens for this game too. No biting yourself, James. You give yourself rabies. Hello, Eli. Hello, Element Eds. Salutations to you. Towel is fine, okay? So how are you, Tal? Hey, it happens to us all sooner or later, right? Just starting your day there. Whereabouts are you? Oz or Japan or? Ah, you have a good day too, Angstaze. I'm pretty good with time zones generally, and I figured if you're starting your day, it's morning, and that's, you're like 16 hours behind and a day ahead type thing, and, you know. Yes, and Camp Nano too. Because Camp Naboo is where you go to be a Gungan. You wrote just shy of 9K yesterday. Jeez. Nice. Yeah, I wrote 8,000 words one day. I was like, what the hell was with me? I was just writing all day. I lost like an hour and a half before my stream just sitting here putting things on my wish list. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Tal. You did that with the baby around. I hear ya. Well, anything we can help with in the stream here? Good job, Sonny. She might nerd it too. Yeah, what Eli said, Tao. We could have him hit with a large brick in the crotch. Then they'll just wish they were dead. Good job, Emily. Hello, Gala. If you want to friend me, I think I'm Aaron Ree. Oi, Ron. Well, Eli, don't then. You know what's the best part of growing up? Nobody can tell you what to do anymore. You just have to live with the consequences. Okay, that's the end of the sprint. So take a break if you're sprinting and chat with us for 5 minutes. Emily. No. Does not count as words. It's like talking to your dog and claiming that it's conversation. And personally, I would consider talking to your dog more conversation than I would consider typing in Discord to be writing. Kuna! Welcome! Aloha, Bob. Hmm. Welcome, Extreme Psy. Baskets of Dino. Are you sure you want to strip in the corner there, Siobhan? Ah, okay. Yeah, that's a good one, Bob. Um, Fix bridge on edge of town, but bridge has a juvenile troll in it. Oh, I was trying to see what you were saying there, Emily. Red shot, chat, and thought shot. Yeah, you can put spiders in, they work. Centipedes, carrion crawlers. Okay, lurking right, James. Up there. There. Okay, Emily. Talk to you soon. Yeah, anytime, Rowan. That's what this stream's for. Well, Tal, how old is the son? If you say 14, I'm going to laugh. No. 6, and they want to go in a onesie. Congratulations. My eldest is 30. Let's see. Yes, 30. Nope, 32. Yeah, we're old, Siobhan. I don't? You're probably the first person to tell me that in a long time. I get mistaken as my mother's husband while I was in the hospital with her. Yep, somebody compared me to Santa Claus. I thought, that's pretty cool. Because he's a jolly old elf. Speaking of that, you're on with me tonight, Siobhan? Okay, cool. Yeah, 11 p.m. BST, which is 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in British Daylight Time. I'm too old to do body painting on Twitch, but Liquid of Life, whiskey. I've always been the cool older guy. Kids like me for some reason. So do parents, which is weird. Yeah, I know. Your parents try to warn you about these guys that are like psychotic and, you know, and stuff, and then they tend to like that guy. Yep, words to do. People think I'm funny. The truth is, I'm just mean, and people think I'm joking. And that's the end of the sprint. Right there. So put down your crayons. Take that out of your mouth, Siobhan. Sit around class for a 5-minute break. "11 words for House Mollusca" from Dazzlecat. Well, now you're settled in and you can write away. Melees. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll get Sable to delete that and Dazzlecat's last entry for redeemed mouse mollusca word count. Sable is deleting it, so you may re-input it under house melees. 255 words for Lapin. Another comment. 255 words in a comment? Cool. I think I like your comment. Oh, editing, if it's light editing, like just, changing words here and there, or, structure of a sentence or something, right? Then that's worth 1/3 the words that you actually cover. So if you say start at chapter 1 and do the whole of chapter 1, just add up all the words in chapter 1 and take 1/3 of it. Right? Wherever you start and wherever you end, add up all the words in between. Right? And if it's heavy editing, like having to replace paragraphs and stuff, or things, then you take half the words that you edited from start to finish and do it. Otherwise, you get 30 words per minute from heavy editing, or 15 words per minute from light editing as a minimum. So if you edited for 10 minutes, you can claim 150 words no matter what you did, even if you sat there puzzling over how to phrase a particular paragraph that was only 60 words long. You still get a minimum 150. Make sense? That's why you wear your glasses, Daz. Oh, you got your world map done Sunday. Awesome. Doing it on paper, or are you doing it on a program? And this Dragon of Productivity doth roareth. And off. Oh, you used Incarnate. That's cool. Did you pay for the subscription or just the freeware one? That's cool. Your birthday's in June, isn't it, Rowan? Am I correct in that? It's been a while since I celebrated your birthday, so. Maybe in June I'll pick you up a subscription for a year. Then you can do some advanced maps. And that way, if you can set aside $2 a month, you can afford a subscription the next year. $234 words for Lappin from James. Alright. James takes a long break. Okay. Oh, you ordered your digital drawing tablet, Dad. That's awesome. Oh yeah, okay. Why couldn't they be shipped to you? Question: if I have a link to my sidebar which contains nudity, but it is a news article, and I have said in bold that link contains nudity, yes, you should. I do believe that in the UK, the age to be able to view nudity, not pornography, is like 16 or something, but Americans are weird about nudity. Ah, I hear you, Daz. Minor illusion creates when they can't move. Yes. The third level major image. Is that it? Right. Creates one that can have motion. That's right, Bob. We certainly didn't want him in the British Empire. Sweet deal, Daz. So, anyways, this is a 7-minute lull in the conversation, obviously, but we have to push through it. Okay, right away. Okay, I'm going to take a break in about 3 minutes. For about 10 minutes. Okay, and that's the end of the sprint. So I'm going to take a brief break here. And I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Greetings. Okay.
Hi guys, I'm
Greetings.
back. I've got Sable on the. Oh,
Hey, Rowan. I do not wish to be on camera today, so I am sitting here in my pajamas, and I'm too lazy to get dressed, so you have to deal with the vocals. And that's it. I'm like, I got nothing better to do. Do you want me to come on stream? Vocals works for Daz. So I wanted to tell you guys a story here about, okay, remember how I've said frequently, never throw anything out that you're writing. Okay, so here's an example. Okay, you know how I've been struggling with this plot hole. I'm like, okay, I've got to do a subplot. I've got to write more about Yathar. You know, I've heard this from a couple of places. Clearly, it's legit criticism. I gotta do it. Right? So then I remembered that there was an old scene that I had written back when Yathar realized that Shandar was dead. Okay, which he isn't, but he thinks so, right? And I was like, oh yeah, right, that scene. I cut it somewhere. When did I cut it? You know when I cut it? The very second draft of the damn book. But I've still got my first draft. I'm on draft 5 of this book by now, by the way. Like, edit 5. Right? But I kept even the first one. So I found it, and it's still there, and I can still use it. And that's why you never throw anything out. Not until the book's published, anyway.
right, Author Goddess. She's not in the nude. We live in Canada. It's April.
Yeah, it's too cold. Otherwise, yeah, in the summer, you bet.
Mm-hmm.
No work.
And the Moonwaker. I like it.
That's pretty, actually.
Pirate ship.
I mean, pretty whimsical pirates, but I like it. Yeah, I like going back to look at a first draft years later. Yeah, because then you can go, geez, I've improved. Boy, this was actually worth my effort. I'm actually a pretty good writer now because this was crap. Yes, I agree with that, actually, Emily. It's nice to see the seeds of the ideas. We're already there. Yeah, that's true. Yes, and I also find it super motivating. You're absolutely right. But yeah, there's my, putting my money where my mouth is, work in practice, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess I should put up.
Guess you should get some work done. Is this what we're saying?
No.
Oh, yay, you're giving me a bunny. Thank you. It is true. The mother of bunnies is in the house.
There. So I'm going to take this one and put it down here. This one and put it up here.
You can make a smaller bunny if you want. I'm a guest on your stream.
Yeah, put a smaller bunny down by your thing.
Lappin' for life. That's right.
There. Smaller bunny down by your thing.
Yeah, you're right, Daz. If you used Moonraker, you would have given people an out-of-world experience and, possibly drawn them out of your universe I mean, you can do that to some limited extent, right? Because then it's fun. You can, people like Easter, they call it Easter eggs, right? You can do that, but, you know. Yeah, you can put it right over top of that little bitty circle sable thing, too. Yeah, shut up! Silence! Of course, actually, you know, in all seriousness, you could, because why not? But yep, there we go, Bob. We're both going to hell in a handbasket. Daz says so. She's got proof right there. You got teeth, though, and I'm armed, so I think we're okay.
And big feet. Big
The edit
feet.
I sent you is a PDF. I am not even sure how that's possible. How did that occur, even? I don't... Okay, I'm sure I've got the Word document around. That makes none sense. Pondering, whereas and its politics and overarching storylines. That's cool. That is so weird. Okay, just give me a second. Gotta mute the mic because it's on the other computer. I will go check it. I'll be right back.
That's funny. I'll send you the uneditable format for you to edit. Yeah. Were both times from Sable? Because then you can blame her. Otherwise, you just gotta blame luck and fate. Remember Jones's law. A man who can smile when things go wrong has thought of someone he can blame it on. What do you mean, Daz? E.g., like example? Now you're confused. Okay. Alright. Author Goddess has had 2 people send her a document to be edited for money and sent it in a format that you can't edit. Like PDF. One was Sable. I said if they're both Sable, you can blame it on Sable. Because then you can remember Jones's Law. And the Jones's Law is a man who can smile when things go wrong has thought of someone he can blame it on.
I think I may have figured it out, actually. Right. So I just sent another copy there, Author Goddess, and I see it as a docx format because I have a newer version of Word. Maybe you have an older version of Word. So I just saved it to be compatible with the older version of Word in doc format, and maybe that's it, right? Maybe it just wouldn't open docx in Word because your Word is an older version, which pretty common, right? But it opened it in PDF because Adobe tries to keep compatible with the latest Microsoft Word format. So anyway, you got both versions of the file now. One should work. They'll both have the edits.
I don't know. I even pretend to know. I just look and say, I don't know.
You have Office 365? Well, fuck then. It should have worked. I don't understand. Either way, you got 2 versions now. If neither one of them works, let me know. I don't know what we're gonna. Maybe I'll save it as an ODT then. I'm not sure. More edits for the word count monster. Or it could be that you might have automatic settings, because this is a new computer, right? So you might have the automatic settings inadvertently set to convert Word documents to PDF. That's possible too. Because Microsoft is dumb.
I don't know. Talk to Kahuna. Is he on? Nope, no Kahuna. Okay, talk to Kahuna.
Oh! Oh, I see. Okay, the edits for you to do for me. Right. Okay. All right. I am doing those in manuscripts, so I'm going to have to convert them into a Word document, which I have not done yet, but I will do that sometime tonight. Now that I know you're ready to get started on that, no, I will do it.
Okay. I'll hold her to it. You promised AG you would do this.
I'll do it.
Eventually.
No, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. Actually, see. I haven't
Easy,
tried this
actually.
yet.
Exports to HTML, and HTML can be opened up with Word and
Oh,
saved
good,
as
okay.
a Word document.
There you go. I mean, it won't. It'll require a lot of screwing around to get formatting, but that's not important to me edit anyway.
Right.
Okay. I will. You know what? I'll do that now then. No reason not to.
Yeah, sometimes it's helpful, Sonny, to do something from the point of view of the antagonist, if you have trouble getting into their heads. But I've done it for 30 years, so 35 years. It's the only way that I act normal. Yeah, Ron, we're good for Star Wars tomorrow. We would have been good for old school on Sunday too, but I just came down with a massive headache. I picked out gifts for people I cared about. I'd only ever buy for myself. Seriously there, Bass Cake. Alright, tell the group that you're not comfortable with all the sex talk. Alright? And if they can't live with that, get a new group. I mean, like, sex is something that happens in my games. Right? But not between players. And not if it's distracting from the game. Tal does 1547 for House Mollusca.
Yikes, I guess we better get to work, eh?
Yep.
Okay, actually that conversion to HTML and then to Word was really simple. Utterly painless. It will require a bit more formatting if I'm going to do publication from there, but less than I thought.
Yeah, Bass Cake. Alright, honestly, if it makes you uncomfortable, you can't game master in that environment. Right? And people can't play effectively in that environment. And I'm sure that, unless they're all paired off, that there's going to be somebody who gets a little feeling left out. Alright? And, that's not cool for any game situation, so you gotta put your foot down. That's what being a game master is all about. Right? Is controlling the pace of what goes on in the game. So therefore, you have to control the pace of the players too. Alright? Emily at 226 for house lapping. Another
Nice work.
comment done. I hope that's helpful to you, Bass Cake. No, I think he's talking about they want to like fondle each other in like real life and shit. Or they, rather. I'm going to use they as a gender neutral. I use he because I'm a he. Right? But I'll use they to be whatever the politically correct word for politically correct is now.
All right, sent over.
You exported it off of
Yeah,
manuscripts?
exported, turned it to Word. I haven't bothered formatting the Word file at all because it's
Well,
utterly
why?
irrelevant at this point,
Yeah.
and I sent it to Gottot, so
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, is that in or out of game there, Bass Cake? I have thoughts on that too. But, like, if it's in game, right, then just, yeah, like Aaron said, let people know that you're not really, this is not the kind of game you're interested in running. It's perfectly helpful for and normal for people to want to explore sexuality in games. It can actually be a very good way to try on aspects of your sexuality that you're not comfortable with in your everyday life. We certainly did it as teenagers.
Sure.
Right? We don't do it so much anymore. And as young, 20 somethings, right? But I mean, you got to have a game master who's comfortable with that. And if you're not, then it's not fair for them to be pushing that on you. Remember that when you're playing together, it is everybody's obligation to make sure that everybody else is having fun. That includes the game master. If the game master is not having fun, it's no fun.
Walking Dead Lover, 1620 for house melees over many sprints.
We're yapping, they're writing. I better get writing.
That's okay, Sonny. You're not a bat either, so we'll forgive you.
We love you anyway, Sonny. It's okay. Author Goddess has this expression. Is that because of the, like, what, the 160,000 word file I just sent you or something? I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to owe you a few more edits to make up for that.
I was going to say, what's this costing us?
We could talk money too if you needed to. I know AG's got it tight right now, and I actually have a budget.
Yeah.
So maybe
I was
we could
serious.
talk about that. Yeah.
AG, what's this costing us?
Because we were trading word for word edits, right? And her file, I don't remember, but her story is like 60,000 words or something or less. So.
Right.
You know what? It's okay. As of the last Game of Tones, the Mollusks and the Bunnies have a pretty solid alliance, so it's good. We support the
House
squids,
Lappin'
too.
107 from James.
Nice work. Author Goddess says, yeah, I have a few other stories to send. Don't worry about that. I'll get my word count work.
Okay.
All right, you got a deal. That's great. See, this is how you get editing done, my friends, when you have no money. I keep saying never edit your own shit because you cannot be objective enough to do it. There's
Right.
always shit you will miss because you know what the story looks like in your head. You may not notice that you have failed to communicate it on paper, though. Yeah, word for word edits with friends, right? Or people that you trust that you know will do a good job, right? And that get what you're trying to do. Because that's not always possible. I've had editors that are amazing editors, but they just don't get my vision, right? They don't see what I'm trying to do. They don't read my genre, whatever, right? So they can't do it if they don't
Hey, Mar.
get it. Yeah, but Author Goddess, we get each other, right? She's teasing me now. Yeah, if your editor doesn't get you, they shouldn't be taking you as a client. That's true. I agree, Element. Yep.
Yeah, I would be picky too, Author Goddess. I've read your work, and your work is good, and somebody could fuck up your vision real fucking easy if they didn't have any understanding of what you were trying to get at. Right? And that is the whole pagan perspective of it.
Yeah,
A
and
traditional
don't.
editor might miss that.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Another thing I'll throw in there is that just because somebody is a good writer doesn't mean they're a good editor. Don't make that assumption. Right. Yeah, that's right. And you don't
And
have
just
to
because
accept
somebody's
that
not a
entirely.
good writer doesn't mean they're not a great editor, too. Because our husband is a great editor, and
he's not a writer.
he's not a writer
But what
at
he
all.
is a reader, and he reads a lot of stuff in my
A
genre.
lot of
So
stuff.
he's very good at pointing out the flaws. Yeah, I agree with that too, Element. It's important to get to know your editor, right? And okay, so I've had this experience, but I'll give you the circumstances. One is that it was in an anthology where we were editing each other's work, and that was just part of the conditions, right? And that wasn't too bad, right? The other one was I got a sample edit from a friend who does editing, and I did not choose to hire them because I saw through their sample that they didn't get it. So it's okay, right? And that's why you should get a sample editor of a page or two, right? Like get a sample edit from any editor, and they should be willing to do that, a page or two, and go, okay, this is the kind of thing I do. What do you think? Right?
Sunny, 1322 for the Squiddies.
100% Author Goddess. It's more about the value of the time. I'm happy to help, but I don't want a hot mess to slog through, if that makes sense. Exactly. Right. Element editing surface. You are an editor. Excellent. So thank you for your advice then. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Right. I stream edits of client works with permission of course, but I'm not here to sell, of course, but I'm not here to sell anything. Yeah, of course. No, that's fine. That's totally cool. And actually, thank you for pointing out.
Hey,
that
thanks
you
for
are a
pointing it
professional
out that
editor.
you're a professional editor there, Tal. Right? Because we can all use that at times. Anybody who's a writer can use a contact with an editor.
I'll say this: if you can afford it, you should go to a professional. You will get a better edit. That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, developmental edits are a little bit more intense.
Yes, that's why it's worth like half your total word count and not a third. Yes, that's true too.
It is true.
Right.
But professional knows what the hell they're doing. All right? If you can see by their sample that they know what they're doing, then charging you what they charge you is acceptable.
I'll say it again. I've said it before. The biggest mistake, the biggest possible mistake you can make as an independent writer is to not get someone else who knows what they're fucking doing to edit it.
Mm-hmm.
That will sink your book faster than anything else in the world.
Yep.
Everything else is secondary to that.
Yeah. Self-editing is okay for the first 4 or 5 drafts, but then get somebody else to do it.
I read this marvelous book. It was a Mars colony in the fairly near, not near, but like fairly near future, trying to survive, right? And it was amazing. There were politics, and I liked the characters, and the story was intense. And this was before COVID, and there was a plague they had to deal with, which is, in their water system, which is contained. So how do you fix that? I mean, it was amazing, right? And that book had a shitty editor. And the problem with the shitty editor is 2 things. One is that someone like myself, who's like, a neo-pro writer, right? They kept using the wrong its, and it drove me insane. And the other thing is that they kept using vaccine when they meant antiviral. And all it would have taken was a find replace edit. And if their editor had known what they were doing, that wouldn't have been a problem. Right? So, I mean, these are 2 examples. There were other things, right? The story was so good, and it just tanked because the editor was bad, right? So don't do that to yourself. Yes. Yep, so much here, right? Author gotta say, you might get away with shorts, but novels are a must edit, even novellas. Yep, there's just too much there, and your brain will sabotage you. You'll miss something. You will, right? And Element says, too many good books down the drain because of either no editing or poor editing. I get a lot of clients who come to me after having had a shit editor. It makes me livid. Yeah, absolutely.
What system do you use to edit there, Tal? So I take it you don't edit by CMOS then. House Lappin 171 from Emily.
Good job, Emily.
Oh, you do edit by CMOS, okay. Ah. You edit by multiple styles. Good.
Awesome.
Nice.
But not Canadian English, I see.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's the end of the sprint.
I'm a big believer in Drunken White for prose. Yeah, that's a good point, Rowan. And often, right? She says, I've read a lot of self-published freebie start books from Amazon, and the stories are good, but 99% of the time, it and the writing are not so good that I would want to pay for the next, or I want to buy the next book. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because 99% of them are not edited by a professional editor, so they, that's what the editor's for, is to tighten that shit up, right?
Yeah. I've only ever wrote one story in my life, but I got it edited.
Yes, by his wife, who was cruel.
Yes, she cruelly edited my...
No, I edited it like, you want to put this out there and you want people to read this.
Yeah.
I would rather you not be embarrassed. Here, let me fix some stuff for you.
Let me throw it up in chat here.
I think he's a good writer, right? Just, I think he's funny and clever and, it's good, but everybody needs to be edited.
Okay. Here's my one and only story.
"11 words for House Lappin from James, 90 words for Mellies from Daz." Good job. Yeah, so did I. I agree with the 2 passes too. I do 2 passes as well. Author Goddess actually does do professional editing services as well as her writing. I don't really think of myself as a professional editor because I've seen a lot of people who are too good. But I do move right at it. But yeah, go to a programs if you can.
And the Dragon of Productivity roars. Says, James, go to bed.
James is going to bed?
Pretty soon he's doing his closing procedures on his writing.
Makes sense. Oh, are we almost at the end of the stream already? No, you started at 2.
Yeah, I go till 5.
Right, okay. So it's all good. Okay, cool.
James says, I was famously editing and I saw I moved the period in a sentence and instead of hearing myself, I heard well, I'm sorry to be the voice of the ghostly editor, but that's cool. I guess I'm helping. James says, I was famously editing and I saw I moved.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good moment. That's hilarious. Aw, Sunny cries and Dust Warrior, you lost your battle? Aw. I just want to find this one creature. Questing, are we? Can any of the Dust Warriors in the chat help her out, maybe? For those who don't know, Dust Warrior means that you play for the words. Yeah, oh, it's part of your quest, okay. I'm honestly trying to get some writing done.
I'm just here to answer questions, so.
Yeah, I know. This isn't your working stream.
Nope.
Now I gotta do something useful with this bit. Because that's not useful.
Everybody's sprinting along.
Nobody's chatting with you, everybody's here, right?
Yep. Fifth edition rules. Crossbow can only be fired once around because it loads slow, so you use an action issue, bonus, reload, and reaction with melee. Does that sound like too restricting for a ranger? To be honest with you, allowing somebody to fire a crossbow, right, once every 6 seconds is crazy. Alright? I mean, like, that's crazy fast time. Right? A English longbowman who can load and fire much quicker than a crossbow could fire off 4 shots in a minute with accuracy. Right? The average crossbowman could only fire off 3 shots in a minute. So,
All right, Siobhan's writing. The bats are happening.
so does it sound like it's too much? No. Does it sound too restricting? No, I think it sounds that there. Personally, if you want to do better for crossbows, I'd up them so they take about 3 rounds and triple their damage. Crossbows were considered to be too lethal a weapon for use upon Christians by the Pope in the Third Crusade. He banned them. Right? Because they were too brutal a weapon.
So what's your variable related request there, Bob? Bob says, I'm taking a deep dive into the Anvil coin feature recommendation list, trying to decide if there's anything worth voting on, or if I should save my coins for the variable related request that I'll probably put up tomorrow. I used my coins to vote. Yeah. I voted for some things.
I voted for some stuff. I've still got coins, though.
Yeah, me too.
Does that make sense, Daz?
Where'd they hide the coin thing now? Ah, there it is.
Yeah, where is the coin thing?
Click on your account circle thingy in the upper right corner, and then there's a big button that says Anvil coins.
Jeez, we're only getting like 200 of these a day?
As Inner Sanctum, yes.
Oh, okay.
Other guilds get different amounts.
Right. Well, I'll save them up and vote the hell out of something.
Well, Bob's got a good feature up there that's worth checking out.
Yeah, I think I voted it already.
Okay. I think this is a brilliant system, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually wasn't too sold on it to begin with. I missed
Yeah, me
the
neither,
Sanctum meeting where they came up with the idea and laid it out. And I was like, another thing I gotta fucking do and keep track of shit. Gamify everything. God damn it.
Good night, James.
I was not into it, right? But then, and good night, James. Sleep well, and thank you for writing for the honor of House Slappin' today. Right? But I wasn't sold on it at all at first, is my point, right? But now that I've seen what is being done with it, this is great, right? What has been happening is that because Inner Sanctum members get one monthly, quality of life feature request that they can ask for, people have been, when they figured that out, have been pointing things out that they'd like to see and getting Inner Sanctum members to mention it, which is fine. Right, but you have to know one, right? And not everybody will. There's 1 million users on this thing, right?
Yeah,
not everybody
literally.
knows an Inner Sanctum
We're
member.
actually up to 1.3 or 1.5 million now.
Oh well, so 1.5 million users, right? Like, but this is cool because this means that you can, no matter who you are, what your level of membership is, vote or suggest ideas, and if people think they're cool, they can vote with their coins. The higher levels of guild will get more coins
if you
per day.
think that's really stupid, you can downvote stuff too with your coins.
I'm not inclined to do that.
I'm not inclined to do it either, but you can if you think that's really dumb.
If somebody requested it, fine, right? Well, obviously they found a use for it. I'll just use it to vote positively for the things I support, right? And this is great. It means everybody has access. Everybody can say something. It does reward more participation and more support of World Anvil, right? Because you get points for participating in challenges, and you get points for, you get coins for, just doing stuff in the community, and that's cool, right? So I actually love it now.
What's the general consensus there, Bob? That only a cockbiter would do it?
What? Oh, that's bizarre, Bob. You can use this anywhere except where the species appears, except in the character template field for species. Good point. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point there, Bob. If you don't like the option, don't vote for it.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Why are you wasting your coins downvoting something?
Yeah, you're just shitting on somebody else's idea as far as I'm concerned. I would never do that. What's
Go
the
shit
point
in
of
your
that?
own backyard.
If somebody wants it and if other people really support it, even if I don't want it, that means there's a need for it. Not everybody uses World Animal the way I use it, so let them have it. I'll never use a thing and I don't care. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But it isn't my business if they want to.
House Lappin 198 from Amelia. Emily, I mean.
Good job. And yeah, I agree, Siobhan. If I don't want something, I just ignore it.
Yeah.
There was one opinion that I can't discount. I have to downvote you because otherwise your thing will win before my thing. So what?
So what?
Again, so what, right? Like, it's, what is it? You have to reach 10,000 coins before Dimia will institute the feature? Like, I think it was something like that, right? Okay, so what? So if something else wins, it means that idea was more popular than your idea. So what?
Yeah.
Yours will come. You just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Bob. We're
Yeah, I
talking
didn't.
about 1.5 million personalities. You know that there are some of these out there. Yeah, well, not I. You're not going to get any downvotes from me.
Yeah, and those people I call cockbiters. Complete cockbiters.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with her, and I think that's just a shitty thing to do. I just don't, it doesn't serve any purpose that other than to be a jerk, in my opinion. I'm never going to downvote anything, even if I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If it's ridiculous, it won't get 10,000 votes. No, not cocksuckers are good. Cockbiters are bad.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I haven't seen that yet. But yeah, if you want to completely change the way something works, and I don't think it's a good idea, then I'd consider a downvote. But if you want the option to do something, go for it. Exactly. Honestly,
right, if you want to change the thing, the way that everything works, you need 10,000 coins, which, that's like, at least 100 people want to give 100 coins apiece, right? Just to have Dimmy consider it.
And I mean, he has the right to reject any request,
right?
Doesn't he? Like,
absolutely.
There's a whole thing for rejected requests. So if it's going to completely change the way something works, he's probably not going to do it anyway.
Do it anyway, right?
So who cares? Author Goddess has a point. Points at BDSM and says it again.
Yeah, it's on her stiletto heels. Mistress AG. That's not real cockbiting anyways.
Huh. My deny access to subscriber, that's the one, right? Seems to be gaining
Yeah.
traction. Just under 5k coins, but over halfway on the number of votes bar. Yeah, I voted for it. I think it's a good idea. I would love to do that with some of my
it's
PCs.
10,000 points or so many votes, right? Okay, where's your article there, Bob? Access to specified subscriber group, yes. That's one. Oh, you can't vote again?
Well, that's reasonable.
Well, that sucks.
I don't know if it's so, but it's reasonable.
Okay, I did not vote on the... Did I vote on this clone article? No. Yeah, I already voted on that one. Yeah, I mean, get back to work, people. think I voted on this one already.
Oh, there's one I just saw that I'm definitely voting for. Article type recipes. Recipes are supposed to be under document, but I don't like the way the document thing is laid out for the use of recipes, so I've kind of been doing my own thing in a generic article. And I mean, I think it could be solved. It doesn't necessarily need to have its own template, but what could happen is that a specific tab, with template-specific fields, could be put on the document entry that says recipe, right? And then it could have all the relevant stuff like ingredients list, which would therefore appear as a key value section, maybe in a highlighted box in the sidebar, the sidebar, which is what I've been doing with it basically, and that would be awesome. I'm all for that. I see Child Worlds is really close to reaching 10,000.
Hey Stretch, how you doing, mate?
Hey Stretch, good to see you.
We are talking about the new coin system on World Anvil for suggestions and
There's another aspect.
oh yes,
of this
and cockbiting. Yes, we were talking about cockbiting.
Yeah. There's another aspect to the system that I just thought of that I think is really handy too, right? One of the reasons why Dimmy and Janet have inner sanctum members and titans and deities and stuff like that is so that they can kind of put a finger on the pulse of the community and see what the community wants, right? They know they can't talk to 1.5 million people personally, so they take a small sample size of people who are really devoted to it and try to figure out what the community wants from there. Right? But sometimes they're not aware that there's big movement for things in the community, and maybe the inner sanctum people and stuff don't know anything about it. So this is a great way for them to get that information, and that's cool.
Yes, Stretch. You see, it is a painful thing. That's why I claim that cockbiters are not a good thing, but Author Goddess claimed that they can be.
Well, I mean, if that's what you're into, why not? I'm all for, personal consent. Consenting adults may do whatever they like, and it's nobody else's business, and if they enjoy it, good for them.
Including mutilate yourself? Okay.
Well, actually, that to me comes down to this is my body. I will do whatever I fucking want with it. I don't think anybody else has the right to tell me. Right? Down to I am 100% pro-choice. I don't think people have any right to tell women what to wear or what not to wear. So these anti-veiling laws are bullshit, right? I think that I'll smoke or drink or screw whatever I want and eat, and it's nobody else's business. So
I believe that PET said it best when he said that the government has no place in the bedrooms of the people.
yeah, Bob says good point. One assumes that those on the top of the world anvil food chain pretty much love the way it works. Yeah, or they wouldn't be there. That's true, right? Sages like yourself would not be, investing in that if they, if you did not, like the way it works, right? They've got suggestions for improvements, but they're happy with what we've got. Now Dimmy will start hearing from people that don't necessarily like how things work. Yeah, and, it's important to know that, right?
Yeah.
And Dad says also, I think that it shows where people might not know about an existing feature, which proves they need to find a way to teach users about those features. My one criticism, I have one, of World Anvil is that it has a tyranny of choice effect.
And
right?
that harm none doeth the old. Stretch.
Yeah. And that's the modern English translation, pretty much their stretch, in my opinion. Yeah. Exactly. Right? So, okay, that wasn't the other thing I was talking about. Sunny cheers in Pandemi Polly and applauds the Sable. Yeah, well, exactly, right?
Well, Rowan, you either get the choice of that or you get the choice of the American milk market. Right?
Bob says, I'm surprised, actually. I haven't found any recommendations posted yet where I thought, but we can already do that. I just found one. I don't remember what it was, though. I was going through and going, no, I thought we could already do that. So, I don't know. But, yeah, it's, yeah, like I said, my one critique is the tyranny of choice. I can sometimes find it, like when I first showed up, I found it a little overwhelming. Now, granted, I think there's means to handle that, and that is join the Discord, right? But some people are intimidated by being part of the Discord. I think there's only like 10,000 users on the Discord, right? And there's like 1.5 million users of the thing, so that tells me that most people aren't on the Discord, right? And that's how I got around it to figure it out, but a lot of people don't know that. So maybe there needs to be some way to you know limit what you're looking at so that it is less confusing. Stat blocks on sublists. Did you suggest that there, Stretch, with your coins? If you did, I'll go vote for it. What he means by that is put some stat blocks so that they're only available to subscribers. Right, which is probably something that's very important for those of us who are using, monetizing some of our role-playing content, right?
Yeah.
Rowan has bought her own cow in the past, as a matter of fact. Their dad. So 222 words for Lapin. Good job, Amelie.
Good job, Emily. Your 100th comment.
Well, yeah, I think that I can probably give myself about 50 words here for comments on World Anvil article votes.
Right, no, I don't agree with you, Rowan. Not even a little bit. Right? Small farmers should not be able to sell their extra privately, because then you end up with the American milk market, where you end up with gluts where a gallon of milk costs $3 one week and $12 the next. Right? As the market gluts and drains.
Good night, Amelie.
Right?
Good work.
The fact that the BC government does control it is the reason why milk is still as cheap as it is in Canada.
Let me answer DM Stretch's question. Where do you use the Anvil coins? You open up the round circle that has your profile image in it on the top right-hand side, and then on top you will see a big button that says World Anvil Coins. And then you scroll down just a little bit, or I had to on my screen, and on the bottom of the right-hand column it said suggest or vote on features in a blue button.
And if a farmer is small enough that they're selling extra to their neighbors, then nobody cares. Right? Nobody's going to come bust your farm because you gave a gallon of milk to your neighbor.
Yeah, but they might if you sold it at the local craft fair. Which,
yeah, but you shouldn't be able to. Because of the same problems they have in the American dairy market.
I do see your point.
Well, I'm going to take a 10-minute break, folks. As soon as the sprint is over. In 1 minute.
Not enough to submit a feature. Well, I voted myself down to 100 now, Stretch, so I can't submit anything either for the moment.
Actually, in Canada, that won't protect you, Bob. If you get sick because your neighbor gave you something in good faith, right, then you can't sue him in Canada. Yeah, but they're not looking. You know, like, every time I go out in the car, it's a potential $500 fine for not wearing a seatbelt. Right? But nobody's looking. Right? You know, if your farm is small enough that you're giving it away to your neighbors, nobody's paying attention to you. If your farm is big enough that you're giving it away to 25 neighbors, you're not a small farm.
Yeah, there's going to be coin rewards for things like participating in challenges and stuff like that, right? So What do you need to submit a feature, by the way? I didn't even look.
300 coins, I believe.
Is it 300? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen because people are terrified. Yeah, well, yeah, 5,000 is a lot of money. Okay, let's talk stupid vehicle fines. Okay, that is silly.
Yep.
Having your
I
child
can't
in the car
afford the fines
unrestrained.
for stuff either. I just don't care because I know that the government ain't paying attention. Right? You know, when I say, what is it? Extremist terrorism, now the government's paying attention, okay?
Bob says, yeah, in New Jersey, having your small child in the car unrestrained is a $50 fine for the first offense. Having your dog unrestrained is a $500 fine
Yeah.
for the first offense. Yeah, that is a set of messed up priorities, and I'm a dog lover. That's, you know, I would think it should be at least equal. My goodness. Yeah, oh well. Anyway, I think this is a silly argument.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm supposed to do a sprint lobby after you're off.
I didn't know how often I was getting them when I, getting coins when I first started voting on stuff, so I voted with, like, small coin numbers.
Yeah, I think your idea is a good one, Bob.
I think so too. That's why I wanted to add some more coins to it.
Yeah, I've kind of decided that, if I think something's worth supporting, it's supporting to the most that I can support it. So I'll be throwing in 300 coins for anything I vote for, pretty much. Hey, Song, how you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, Song.
So I'm going to have to log off in about 15 minutes so that I can set up the computer for a sprint lobby.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I forgot. I'm supposed to be doing a sprint lobby when you're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well. What are we throwing coins at? Depends. Today I threw it at a recipe, article template, or sub-tab in the documents template. Something else. And Bob's cool idea that he has going. Yeah. Yeah, Stretch says, tell you what, if there are 1.5 million World Angle users, if only they would all watch ASC streams. I know, right? We'd all be partners by now. But I mean, World Anvil routinely gets about 100 people in their streams themselves, and that's it, right? And then only about a quarter of them, I think, or maybe half of them watch other World Anvil related streams. So
Twitch is
Pride
still a new
setting a
platform.
24/7 lobby stream, by the way. Yes, they are trying to do that to the best of their ability. They are running backup for us, pretty much. So, I mean, we could just go back over to Pride when we're done instead of me putting up a sprint lobby. I
Yeah.
was originally just doing it because, trying
Yeah,
to
I
fill in
was
the
going to
space when I
Pride.
had time.
Pride sprint lobby's up, then don't worry about it. It's harder on our metrics anyways. Alright.
And good for Prides to send people over there? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you guys. If you want me to do a lobby, I will. I said I would, so let me know. I'm not attached either way. I actually get more writing done when I'm not running the stream regardless, so, you know, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Yeah, exactly. A large percentage of people in general don't use Twitch. I know some people that when I told them I stream on Twitch, they've asked, what's that?
Yep.
And a lot of people who know about Twitch think it's all for games. And certainly Amazon has been presenting it that way.
Okay, I'm taking a 10-minute break, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're missing the potential myself. Let Pride handle it. I gotta wonder what their report's gonna look like, though. Yeah, they when there's something else going on that's, something they know a bunch of people are gonna be at and they're awake and have time, they shut down for an hour or so and report. They've been doing that, so they're managing. Coffee will be on after the sprint lobby is scheduled, so that's probably a good time for Pride to take a break and do a report. I'll ask if they mind then. They're just they, as far as I know. Could ask. Oh, that's fine, whatever. I actually don't think they care about specific pronoun, really. Right. Ditto, I tell people I go by she, they, because it's just easier. But, yeah, I don't care. If you call me he, you're not going to offend me.
Shit, I was saying all that while I was muted. I was saying that Pride is he, they, as far as I know.
Yeah, and I responded that I wasn't sure. Oh, he is becoming more insistent as of late. Okay. Does Pride prefer he or they then, Siobhan? Do you know? I know, Bob. Some stuff just doesn't. Like, I'm old enough that, things have changed in some ways, and I don't get the memo until later. And, when people tell me, they're really angry at me. And I work on it, but I'm 46. It's been a long time since I've been in college, I don't get the message sometimes.
My problem is getting out of sir and ma'am. See, because I was educated by the Canadian Royal Service Academy. Right, so I was brought up in a military academy. Yes, I know.
Yeah, the U.S. military approach to that problem was to make "sir" the gender-neutral term, which is not good, by the way.
Yeah,
It does
it's not
not solve
good.
the problem, for many reasons. First of all, because most of us are aware it was not always the gender-neutral term, so once again it defaults to masculine as the assumption of the baseline, which is not only offensive in many ways to those who are about feminine empowerment, but also inaccurate. If we were going to default to the more common human term, it would be ma'am would be the default, because there are more women than there are men and always have been, right? And by a small percentage, but it's there, right? And the other thing is that it's especially bothersome to people, trans women in particular, actually, because they're trying very hard not to be misgendered, right? So, yeah, we're still figuring it
Well,
out,
of
to
course,
be fair.
they don't allow
Right?
trans people in their military anyways.
Well, there are no trans people in their military now. They forbid them from service, which is fucking horseshit. But, at least no open trans people. Sure, there's lots of closeted trans people.
Not that. Fuck that. I'd leave. I'd take the dishonorable discharge and get the hell out.
Yeah, I understand that. I do. I mean, this pronouns thing, we're working so hard, right? We're trying to figure it out. There's no good solutions, but we'll come up with them, right? I like the singular they. I think we've settled on that. I try to use that as my default pronoun now in all of my writing and my speech. I'm better at doing it in my writing than I am in my speech, because I think more about what I say when I put it down in text, right? So, but I'm getting better in day-to-day speech too. But that's because I've consciously worked on that. Did Biden change that? I hadn't heard.
Not that I'm aware of. He's talked about it, but he hasn't. He's hasn't done it yet. That I know of, who take an executive order.
And Stretch pointed out, I don't mind being called ma'am, but I'd sure mind being called a lady, because even if I were female, the last thing in the world I would be is a lady. Yeah. So good. And then adds, in hospitality, I got used to using sir, but for some reason, I don't really know why, I still can't get to grips with ma'am or madam. You know what? Some women don't like ma'am or madam either, because to them it's a sign that they're old. I don't share that feeling, but I get it. Oh, they did. Oh, good. I'm so pleased. Biden did reverse that decision.
Okay, excellent.
Excellent. Well, that's the right thing to do, so that's good.
I still wouldn't sign up their military if I were trans.
Yeah, Bob says I find myself writing so as to avoid the problem entirely. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, we're all working on it, right? I mean, it's important work, though. We do need to make a place for a recognition that gender is a spectrum, and some people do not fall keenly on one side or the other of the binary, and it's important. Yeah, Eastong says my problem is that ma'am and madam tends to be used sarcastically. Yeah. Or, the other connotation is being a little madam. Yep, usually when misbehaving, or the head of a brothel. Well, yeah, and, I don't know, that's patriarchal bullshit too, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's complex. I thought Weber had a good solution in the Honorverse novels. In his future
That's
kingdom of Manticore, right? They generally assume their own gender as the default when they do not know a gender of a person, and they refer to people in general by the gender that they are, right? Which also makes sense. Yeah.
they actually is not a plural only word for a million years. They, as far as all right, as it
Well,
goes, was a singular word as little as 90 years ago.
but most of us, I mean, Bob's point is valid. Most of us
Yeah.
have grown up with it being, a plural word, and sometimes I still trip over that when reading other people's writing.
Hmm.
So I get it, but I write that way. I think that by writing that way, we normalize it, and my kids
Yeah.
aren't going to have this problem, and my grandkids certainly won't, and that will be fine. But I really do understand the I'm old enough that it's hard to change habits of a lifetime.
Yeah, it's no harder to change that than it is to learn a new pronoun.
I'll tell you the one that I'm currently slipping on, right? Okay, we in our common speech, you and I, my dear, use the word retarded to describe something that is,
Slowed down and
I mean, we use it by the actual meaning of the word,
hmm
right? But this has recently become a very offensive slur for
I don't use it
people
on
who
people.
are mentally disabled. Well, some people don't even like the word at all being used, and this is currently the common consensus. So I'm working very hard on changing that. I don't mean it in that sense, but because it is interpreted in that sense, right? If I want to make my message clear and not be misinterpreted, it's on me to change how I say it, right? So I'm working on it,
Mm.
but I've done it on stream, and I'm trying. I really, I mean no harm. I have nothing against people with mental disabilities or neurodiversity of any kind. I'm a big proponent of neurodiversity. There are many things that are classified as mental disabilities that
Sure.
really aren't. They're just kind of a way that change the way you
hmm
interact with the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally cool. Always has been, right? So, it's just that the word used to have a different, and I get that.
And the word never actually meant that, so
Yeah, but
I figure
people used it
people.
that way. People used it that way, and that's why
Right,
it's become a slur, right? They wrecked
it's
it
a
for the
slur
rest
if
of
you
us.
use it for on a human being. All right. But people who are offended just because of it being a word can suck my ass.
I'm working on it, right? Like I believe that it's important to change when it has gained a connotation that it shouldn't. Okay, the swastika was originally a solar symbol,
Sure.
and it was not just used in Norse symbolism. It was also used, well, Teutonic symbolism, I should say. It was
Yeah.
also used in Buddhist symbolism and a variety of Asian cultures, and it was
Yeah.
a solar symbol, right? But if you wear one in the modern time, you're asking for trouble because you know perfectly well what the modern connotation is, right?
Sure. And if I refer to a human being as being retarded, then I know what the connotation of that is. If I refer to the engine sludge in my car as retarding my engine, I am not.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah, fair enough. Rowan says, and I'm not certain about what she meant by this exactly, so I hope that there's some.
She's concerned that the default pronoun for that be neutral.
Okay, does that mean you think it's a good idea that it be neutral, or that you think that it's a bad idea that the default should be neutral? I kind of like the default being neutral because it doesn't pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Right? And that's totally fine by me.
Yeah. You see, I don't view the word retarded in the same light that I viewed the N-word. The N-word never had a connotation that wasn't bad.
No, that's a good point.
Right? Right from the very beginning. Alright? So, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Bob says, I would be happy with a neutral. Unfortunately, the only candidate for that in current English that isn't understood as having been a plural is it. And that will never fly either. Yeah, because it objectifies people. And Rowan says, yes, I think that neutral should be the default. Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Yeah, the thing about that,
What do you mean same with 3 stars?
Obviously the automod edited it out for some reason. Bob says that, okay, about it, right? Back in the 80s, Lois McMaster Bujold wrote a series that I'm a big fan of called the Vorkosigan Saga. And in it, there were people who were gender neutral or were bigender, right? And that was by sex as well as identification. And it was the one that was used, but everybody was uncomfortable with it. They just didn't know what else to do. So that was before the singular they was restored as a thing.
Right, but it's blocking the word from view. Is that on my settings or yours?
It's something that Twitch is automatically doing, obviously, which is annoying.
Right. Chat settings.
Let me see what it says in the mod view. Maybe put in each letter with a space between it, and then we'll see it. Well, apparently there are some things there, Stretch, that Twitch thinks is absolutely offensive and should not ever be allowed, period, which, since it'll auto-mod out things like trans and, stuff like that, kind of makes me go, yeah. In this one, I would be inclined to agree with right-wing types who say that is censorship. Yes. That is censorship. That prevents us from talking about whatever it is. That's not okay with me. Yeah, we need to invent a new word. Maybe. I think the singular they can be used. I think it does.
Yeah,
work.
I think it works.
Personally, I am more used to it being a plural too. But people have tried to invent other words and they don't fly, right? Like Z hasn't caught on. I'll use it when someone insists that I do.
I won't.
But I will. That's what they want to be called, and everybody has a right to be called.
I just won't call them a pronoun.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Because I'm not for making up words out of bullshit in order to fill your gap. Alright, that's pig Latin.
Yes, there we go. Now I get it. Yes, the original meaning of that word is a cigarette.
Bundle of sticks, actually.
Bundle of sticks, yeah.
Yeah, his same word origin as fasces.
But, I mean, that's kind of an archaic use even in England now.
Yeah.
right? And in modern times, it has nothing but a negative connotation, right?
Right. There's no reason to use that word.
Oh, so they do use it for a cigarette
Yeah.
still. Okay. Yeah, Z doesn't work because nobody knows how to pronounce it spelling-wise. It's great. And by the way, that's my guess as to how it's pronounced because I've never heard it. Yeah. I've never heard it spoken, so I don't know. But I do try to use it, so. I guess that because there's also people who are using ZE. Right? So I thought, okay, so Z. All right. I'll say, though, as a person who suffers from a minor lisp, I trip over it when I try to say it in some contexts. Yeah, in general, I think we're settling on a singular day. Okay, since there are no other opinions, people said let Pride handle it. I'll just double check and make sure Pride's good with that.
Z. Yeah, that is really sad, Bob. The fact is, we got all this technology at our fingertips, and what do? Send telegraphs to each other. FFS. Tell him it only works if he stands in the corner. Tell? So he's got to stand in the corner and then he can put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, in the land of typed words, I actively use they when I don't know someone's gender. Me too. That is what I am intending to, that is what I'm getting into the habit of doing.
He can sit in the corner and do it.
Aw, can't stand yet. Aw.
Gotta make fun of your kids. It's like, you have to.
Aw, 14 weeks. Aw,
Nice.
just a little teeny one.
No,
That's
that's
great.
not that he's not flexible enough, it's that he's too fat. As soon as he gets moving around, starts losing that weight, his foot will go right in his mouth. You don't worry about that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Stretch. Yeah, I was actually totally oblivious to all this gender stuff till I started with World Anvil streams. Not really encountered it before. To be honest, I'm glad for the education. And this is true of a lot of people in our age group.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because we just, no, this is not what was being done in school when we went.
Yeah, see, I'm fortunate. I have a non-binary child, and I have a trans friend, and
Exactly, right?
So
but
I'm
yeah, I
fortunate
mean,
for that.
It was new to me till I got on Twitter.
Yes. As it is. Het. Cis het. Is fine.
Okay, see you later, Bob. Have fun.
Later, Bob.
Enjoy time with your son.
Yeah, I envy you that.
Well, okay, is it bad to say hetero or homo these days? Yeah, homo is considered a slur now,
Yeah.
right? Hetero is kind of dismissive, but it's not really a slur.
Yeah, it's diminutive.
But it is fairly common in the LGBTQ community to refer to straight, because straight doesn't work anymore, right? Straight means that you are attracted to the opposite gender, but it doesn't say anything about other, non-binary gender identities, right? So the term cishet is becoming more common, which is a combination of cisgender, meaning that you are you identify with the gender that you present as biologically from birth, right? And heterosexual, right? Which means that you are attracted to the opposite gender. And it is still the most common combination, right? So, when differentiating, that has become more common. It's not intended as a slur. It is intended as the people who are not us in the LGBTQ plus community, right, are cishet, right? So it's complicated.
Nice seeing you too, E-Song. We're going to be raiding off here in about... Or are we?
Yeah, we're gonna raid. I just
Yeah.
got a notice that said that Pride was going up again,
Okay.
right? Even though Pride has not responded to my message yet. So I assume that means they're good to go for a while, and I'm gonna cancel the
Okay.
Sprint lobby.
Okay.
Because, hey, like I said, I was just doing it to fill a gap, and I don't have to. The gap is filled. Pride has got it. So let other people, do the things they
Yes,
volunteer
Daz,
to
since
do,
you were
and
born...
with gratitude.
Since you are AFAB, assigned female at birth, right? And attracted to AMAB, assigned male at birth, right? Means that you're cishet. Me, I'm trisexual. I'll try anything. Dogs, mud, chickens.
May I say, by the way, as a person in the rainbow, that I really appreciate those of you who are cis and who are vocal allies. Thank you very much. It is not possible to get equal rights or respect without your support. And the fact that you do that and have no personal investment or reason to do so is really appreciated. Well, I'm half Welsh, so UK joker. Yeah, but I get it.
I got
All right,
no issues with trans female.
376 words for Mollusca from Element. Good job. I am doing
Good job,
fucking
Tal.
well. I will in a minute, though, because the sprint lobby will be down, so... Or the... we'll be in Pride's sprint lobby.
You're half Welsh.
While I'm here, gang, I might as well point out that there are some other writers who are live, and you should check them out. Right? Let's see. Yes, Laura is live right now. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She will not be live in a few minutes, which is why we're not going to raid her, because she does like an hour-long stream about writing and the process of writing and the business of writing. And she knows quite a lot about what she's talking about. I think her book sales are better than mine, so check her out.
Mara's up.
Yeah, and Mar is up as well. Mar is doing Camp NaNoWriMo, but not Game of Tones. They have been reading their book, God Noise, which is awesome. And you should definitely, go have a listen. I'll probably put both Mar and Pride on in the background, right? Because Pride's lobby is a very quiet one with just the World Ember fire stuff going, so I can listen to both at the same time. Yeah, see, that's it, Daz. You're roughly in our age group too, right? So, yeah, you're welcome. I have no bias versus gender identity, race, or religions. I just get dazed and confused with all the terms. A lot of us are like that, I think. We don't we don't have biases. We're just not sure what the current respectful terms are and are not in the habit of using them because we were not taught them when we were young, right? So we are working on it, and that is cool. That's cool. Daz says, honestly, Siobhan, your Twin Soul article was very helpful for me to understand trans. Yeah. Honestly, it took me a while to understand too, right, growing up. I was very fortunate. I have a friend named Gina who I haven't seen for a long time, right? And she taught me about being trans, right? She was our roommate for a long time, and, she helped me to understand. So when Siobhan came out, I knew how not to fuck it up, right?
Yeah.
But that's because I'd already made all my mistakes. Walking Dead Lover says, I
Term
guess I
is
could be
queer.
considered weird with my gender, sexuality, etc. Yeah, if things are very nebulous, queer is perfectly acceptable. Queer is a good catch-all term for LGBTQ, IA+, etc.
It is in there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but it's also used as a general term. Like when I'm talking about it, I'll say us under the rainbow or LGBTQ people or queer people. And by that I mean everybody collectively.
Yep. But it is in the word salad. LGBTQ.
There's arguments that polyamorous people should have a letter in the alphabet soup too.
No. We can't be an exclusive club if we're including all these people.
And there's an argument that people who are into kink should have a
also
letter in the soup.
Also, they got their
too.
own soup.
I don't know. I mean, like, I see the argument, right? I think we need to get beyond the term
and I counter it with no.
Though, because it's getting too long, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad says, I was raised in the don't ask, don't tell era, so you don't get your friends in trouble. Yeah. But you see, right, people aren't satisfied with that anymore. Rightfully, they want acknowledgement, recognition, and acceptance,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the point I was just making there, Stretch. I agree with you. I can see why they want to include it, but the term itself is already long enough. I have trouble remembering it all as it is. And furthermore, yeah, Q could be considered to include poly and kink, and a lot of people do interpret it that way, and that's fine.
Yeah, queer.
Right? Like I said, Q is good. Queer is good to catch all, right? Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. LG, and it's regional too. Like in Canada, we say LGBTQ 2 or A2 plus, something like that, and that refers to Aboriginal, like Indigenous two-spirit identities, right? Which is a different understanding of how trans works, or non-binary. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that too. Frankly, I think most of the world is overly concerned about what is and is not under someone's clothing. You know what I'm concerned about? The people I'm sleeping with like it. So that's what I care about. That's all that really
I don't
matters.
even care about that. I like it.
Yeah, that's it. LGBTQIA2+, right? So, and you'll see that in Canadian publications. You know, because it's trying to be inclusive to Indigenous people. Yeah, you know, the town in Wales that changed its name to confuse the English, kind of getting that way. Yeah, and that is a thing. We do kind of need a catch-all term. I do agree. You have to practice saying LGBTQIA+ before it rolls off your tongue.
What is the I?
Intersex.
Ah, okay.
Which, for those who don't know, is the appropriate term for a hermaphrodite.
Because hermaphrodite is considered derogatory.
Yep. And not accurate besides the point, because, again, that's a spectrum, right?
Yep.
Like, one of Aaron's good friends growing up has Klinefelter syndrome, which means he's 2 X and 1 Y chromosome, right? And therefore, you know, he takes testosterone and whatnot in order to
Steroids.
balance out his masculine presentation because he identifies as male. But a person with Klinefelter's could just as easily identify as female or neither or both or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they could if there was more than like 6 of them in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's rare.
That's
right?
not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
When I knew him, there were 6 of them. Alright, so Klinefelter syndrome is sort of the exact opposite of Down syndrome.
Well, yeah, because Down syndrome is caused by 1 X and 2 Y chromosomes, right?
Yeah, in the same allele.
Interestingly enough, Aaron also had a good friend growing up with Down syndrome, so.
Yep.
And that friend actually.
He's the only one I'm still talking to.
Yeah, I know. He's cool. He's a good guy. I like him a lot.
Every other one of my friends turned into an idiot. He turned into a normal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slava.
Yep.
Rostislav Knezovich Mamentov. He's Siberian.
Well, by ancestry.
No.
He's Canadian. Oh, no, he actually is Siberian.
Oh, yeah. Crossed the river into Mongolia.
Oh, wow.
From,
neat. I didn't know that.
Siberia, swam it when he was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
To get out of the USSR.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I'd call him a friend.
Him and his mom.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he was prone to making up stories, so you never knew what he told you was true, but his mom told me that.
Oh, that's cool. Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Brave. Very brave.
Yep. And he's got Down syndrome, but he speaks like 5 languages. Right.
Yep. Yep, Rowan agrees. Slav is awesome. Okay, we're past time here, baby. You're just waiting for the sprint to run out?
Yeah, just waiting for this sprint to run out. Oh, wait, this is 8 minutes left. Nah, we're just going to raid off.
Yeah, so get in your word counts, those of you who want to do them, so that we can do the raid. Thank you for yapping with me. Thank you to all of you who are actually writing. I appreciate that. I got very little done myself. Yeah, agreed, Siobhan, agreed. No words. I've been distracted in chat. Me too. I've been yapping. I guess it's okay. I kind of needed a break, but I'm looking forward to going back to the word mine too. Okay, I'm not actually. I'm procrastinating, but I gotta go back to the word mine. I gotta get it done. It's important. I want to get this book done, and that is why I took this on. Your element. We're going to go and raid Pride Ascending, who is the next up on the Game of Tomes reporting schedule.
By the way, Element calls himself Tal.
Tal, okay.
T-A-L, yes.
All right, Tal. I'll try to remember that then. Good to meet you. Last for word counts, gang. I'm typing in the raid now.
Raiding. Keep those raiders raiding.
So when you get there, don't forget that the raid shout is prepare to be boarded because we are the table's privateers. Or if you prefer, since it is Game of Tomes time,
Shout your house motto.
And I'm going to hell in a handbasket as we go over to Pride Ascending. This is great. I love that. That is a hilarious modification of the emote. I like it a lot. All right, we're gone. Have a good day, guys.
Here we go.